Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Get Outdoors with Don and Dora. And today I am fixing my 2009 Jeep Wrangler JK. It's a four-door Sahara. The window regulator had gone out on it. We went and did Box Canyon last weekend, and so something had broke inside the door. Wasn't the regulator was bad. The regulator seemed fine. If you pulled up on the window, you could get it to support itself. So obviously something inside was working just enough that I could close the window and keep it shut. And so yesterday I did some exploratory mechanic work, I guess you could call it, to see exactly what was bad. And what it looked like was one of the cables. You've got a motor inside the door. It's got a gear on it, and attached to that gear are two cables that run, one to the bottom, one to the top, and that gear spins, pulls the window bracket up, lets it down, pulls it up, lets it down. Anyways, long story short, this is what I ended up with. I'm going to flip my phone around and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so here we have the regulator in basically this slide bracket. It is got a little plastic clip on the bottom. Cable runs through it around up to here, and this end here is supposed to go into the back of the regulator. There's another hole back here just like this one, and that motor spins and pulls the thing up and down. Well, this plastic bracket's supposed to be up in that notch right there. That broke off, so now it's just a sloppy mess in there. And the regulator itself probably works all right, but you can't buy one part without the other. You kind of have to buy the assembly. So I bought the whole thing, and I got the Dorman window regulator, replacement regulator for the Jeep Wrangler JK. And let me show you what that looks like. Okay, here we go. I've got it all hooked up here. There's my wire connection to the main. This is my main wire that runs to the power, main power cable that's in this little hole. So basically what you have to do, you have to unhook this little loop from this bracket that holds that strap to the door. And then there's another loop right here, and that hooks to another loop here. And inside this hole is your plug. It sits in there sort of vertical in this window right here, this little panel that you pop out. So the only thing I'm not sure about on this regulator, it doesn't sit vertical like the old one did. This solenoid sat more up and down. I'm hoping that doesn't get in the way of anything. But anyway, it's relatively easy to take out. So for those of you who have never tore one of these apart, you have torque spits here, here, those three. You have 8 other ones right here. They're all 10mm bolts. And then you have a screw here. I already took that one out. And what you do is you twist this whole panel, and you've got your rail here that the window slides up on, and you've got to kind of tweak it to the one side, and you can pull this whole thing out. So this whole assembly is attached to this panel here in the back, and you can yank the whole thing out. And so you have a cavity in there. And of course your window slides down into a plastic bracket, and you cut out these little portholes here, and there's 2 little clips. You push in on those, and you can grab the window up at the top and you just pull it up. And it releases it, and what you want to do is then you want to tape your window up so it stays up and is out of the way, because you don't want to break your glass. So let me go back and I'll show you in more detail the bracket that holds the window. Okay, so here we are. You've got the bracket. Your window slides in here, and it's got a little plastic clip attached to the bottom of the window. And when it slides in there, it pops and clips into these notches here. So what you do is you get like a little screwdriver and you stick it in there through those little windows that I showed you. And you got to do them both at the same time, and then you push in and you can pull the window right out. Then you tape it around the top of the door so it doesn't break. And there's only 3 bolts that hold this thing on, and there's a gear that slides into the back of this. So you line that up with the gears, the bolt holes, with the bolt holes in the door panel, and this gets sandwiched in between. Then you slide everything together, and this goes right on top, and it all meshes, and your bolts line right up on there. Tighten it down, not too tight, I guess, and then you're done. But so far, the Dorman product seems to be pretty nice. I'm pretty happy with it. Just hope there's no surprises, because I used to have a '66 Mustang GT, and anytime I would start doing a job on that car, you know, it was pretty simple, but I'd run into something that was, instead of taking 15-20 minutes, took me an hour or 2, or 3 or 4, and I got a few surprises along the way. So I'm never too optimistic that a job's going to go well, because stuff can go south really quick. So I'm going to turn my phone around here, and so there you have it. The Dorman window regulator for the 2009 Jeep Wrangler. I believe it's probably works for a 2007 to 2012, I think. I'm not sure. I'm not up on all my years on Jeeps as far as how, but anyway, it seems like a decent product so far. I've already tested it. It slides up and down like it should, so I think I'm in good, I think I'm out of the woods. I'm in good shape here. It should be a few minutes. I can button all this up, put my trim back up here, and put my door panel back on. There's little holes right here that snap into, there's pegs that are on the back of your door panel. They'll snap right into those holes. Just pop it with the palm of your hand and should go right back together. So nobody shows a video about this. They show how to remove the door panel, they show how to remove the glass, but nobody shows how to actually pull the regulator and line everything up, put it in there. So hope you learned something. Hope you can use this video. If you like what you saw, hit subscribe and click like. See you next time.